welcome to the Deadbeat Club. My name's Ava Solberger, and today we're going to talk to you about one of my favorite TV shows to binge watch. It's called The Bridge. It is a Danish-Swedish television show that is also known as Bron or Bron. I don't know how to pronounce these things. I don't speak Swedish or Danish, so you're just gonna have to bear with me. I have been on a Scandinavian crime kick recently. I got really into Wallander. I read the books. I watched the TV shows. There's the British version. There's the Swedish version, which I prefer. And then when I stumbled on The Bridge, I totally fell in love. There's only 3 seasons right now to watch. And hopefully, there will be a season number 4. Please, if there is a God. You can also see there's an American remake of The Bridge, and then there's also a French-British adaptation. The original Bridge takes place a lot of the time on the Øresund Bridge, which goes between Copenhagen in Denmark and Malmö in Sweden. A Swedish detective, Saga Norén, Länskrim, Malmö, and a Danish detective, Martin Rode, have to work on a case together. The Bridge is moody, it's haunting, it's melancholy, and it's got a very unique pacing. It feels like it's very slow. You get introduced to a lot of complicated characters. You're not really sure how they connect, if they connect in any way to the crime drama that's going on. But what I love about it most of all, Saga Norén, Länskrim, Malmö. Saga is the Swedish detective who is a very unusual person. Lots of people say that she has Asperger's, which is, again, not in any way supported by the writer of the show. She is unusual. She is curt. She doesn't say, "Hi, nice to meet you, how are you?" She is down to business. I'm gonna solve this crime. And she's really good at her job. She's really good with numbers, she's good at researching, she's good at seeing things that other people don't see. And what I love is that her boss is a sympathetic person who knows how good she is at her job, and he creates an environment where she can do her job and not have to deal with people always being like, "What's wrong with you? Why are you so different?" She's not good, for instance, at telling people that their relative is dead, because she just says, "Yeah, your relative's dead. Anyway, let me ask you some questions about this." She has the sensitivity chip missing, as Jennifer Aniston said famously about Brad Pitt. But she is sensitive. She does feel things. She just doesn't show it. Just having a woman who is grumpy and kind of does things her own way. For instance, driving a classic weird car and wearing leather pants and taking off her shirt in public and insulting people and saying what's truly on her mind is so refreshing. I was always just brought up and trained as a woman in American society to be friendly and like, "Oh, nice to see you. How are you? Okay, see you later." And it's so refreshing to have someone just be like, "Yep, this is who I am. What's the big deal?" For instance, her partner Martin Rode says, "You have kids?" And she says, "No, why would I? Why would anyone?" It's just this very pure, natural reaction, which you could never say to anyone. But it's so refreshing to hear someone be like that. So Saga Norén has become a character that people can really relate to. You know, you have all these previous famous detectives. You've got Sherlock Holmes, who probably is antisocial, maybe a little bit autistic as well, and also had this brilliant mind. You often have these detectives who are awkward and don't fit in normal society, and yet they're somehow able to solve crimes with such aplomb. And that is exciting to see in a female character, because that is pretty rare. You have Martin, the Danish detective, and he is always smiling. He's always got this little smile on his face, always pushing at his lips like this. I don't know why he always does that. And he is the more traditionally female character. He's always saying to Saga, "How are you? You know, let's have some small talk. Why don't you ask me about my family?" He prompts her with what she should be asking him. So he's always reminding her, "Hey, my kid's not feeling well. You should ask me about that. Hello, like this is how normal people are." And he does it in a way that isn't cruel. And so he sort of becomes her emotional side because he is so emotional. And that interesting reversal of having the woman play the more masculine character and the man play the more feminine character is really not something you see very often. And I think that's one of the reasons why the show has become so popular, especially in England. In Europe, the show is just hugely popular. And I also love watching the subtitles. It forces you, as you watch, to pay total attention, because if you turn away for a second, if you look at your phone, you are going to miss something, and you don't want to miss anything in this series because that's how good it is. Even the opening montage of the bridge with the music just puts you in this mood, and the shots of the city of Copenhagen and Malmö are just so evocative and artistic. And also just seeing people who look like normal humans on most American cop dramas. You have these ridiculous models who are so skinny with these weird faces and plastic surgery and all this makeup shellacs on them, and, you know, push-up bras, and just, you know, their hair is perfectly in place, and let's go catch the criminal. That is so boring as a viewer. I would much rather see interesting faces, human faces at different stages of aging, and they have complex three-dimensional characters and backgrounds. Saga, the actress who plays her, Sophia, even has a scar on her upper lip that you don't really notice but slowly kind of see it. It's from a bike accident that the actress had, but it also gives just that little bit of extra depth to Saga because she's this beautiful woman, but she's scarred. So I love the series The Bridge. I got totally addicted, binge watched it as fast as I could, and now I'm just hoping that there will be a season 4. Season 3 does not have Martin Road, which is kind of sad, I have to admit. What I love is their interplay. They really connect. Saga and Martin have just this very special connection. And the other interesting thing is that the show is in half Danish and half Swedish, which I would never know because it all sounds like taka, 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 taka. You try and pick up a thing here and there, like all the different ways Saga will say yes, like ja, ja, jo. And of course they say tak all the time, tak, 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 which is thank you. But I can say Saga Norén, Länskrim, Malmö, or Saga Norén, Länskrim, Malmö. Season 3 has a new character joining up with Saga, and the beak is super duper smoking hot. So I'm okay with that. All 3 seasons are totally worth watching. Please, 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 please make a 4th season. And I wish more American television shows were like this, with more complex characters, with more interesting female characters. With the popularity of Scandinavian crime fiction, crime television shows, I hope we see even more. So please, please, please take notice, American TV writers, and give us more complex characters like Saga Norén, Länskrim, Malmö. Saga Norén, Länskrim, Malmö. It's something she says during The Bridge over and over and over again. It's how she introduces herself. And every time she says it, you say it with her. Saga Norén, Länskrim, Malmö. Saga Norén, Länskrim, Malmö. Or at least I do. Plus, I get to feel like I'm taking a vacation to a foreign country, and I hope one day I can go on the bridge, the Øresund Bridge between Copenhagen and Malmö. I hope someday I get to go to Scandinavia because I think I would really love the culture there. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you later on the Dead Beat Club for more pop culture, daydreaming, and